There are over 400 homeless people living in Trinidad and Tobago. It's difficult to describe the range of emotions the average person feels when they're walking down the street and they see a homeless person. As you approach them, you're assessing the threat level. God, he looking kinda mad, boy. I wonder if he gonna attack me. I'm sure he going to ask me for money,
He better not ask me for anything more than $1, you know.
Some of them just stoops when they get them 25 cents. Man, woman, or child, you're probably terrified. If you're a guy, you're probably thinking, my goodness, he has abs. I go to the gym and I don't even have abs.
Wait. Is that his cocolux dangling below his knees? Yep, that is his cocolux.
So he has abs and his cocolux is... It's difficult to talk about some things. That includes homeless people. Why is it so difficult to get rid of them?
I don't mean get rid of them as in getting rid of them, but get rid of them as in getting them off the streets. For good.
Many have tried, many have failed. Especially in December. Every December, two things are certain. Santa Claus is coming to town, and the government tries to get vagrants and homeless people out of town. The PNM, the NAR, the UNC,
NGOs, religious groups.
they have spent millions trying to get homeless people off the streets, and they've all failed. To be fair, failure isn't unique to Trinidad and Tobago. Maybe you feel sorry for them, maybe you remind yourself that this could be you or someone you know. Maybe you reach for your wallet or your purse, make sure it's still there, and cross the road to avoid the shit on the pavement. There are a number of reasons why someone could be homeless, but this episode is not about those reasons.
Whether it's neglect, abuse, domestic problems, ex-convicts living on the streets with nowhere to go, persons living with HIV, deportees, and mentally ill people.
This episode is about solutions, and I'm talking about sensible solutions. So if you're thinking about Hunger Games or an annual purge,
Please don't.
the first thing you could do is pack them up and ship them to a madhouse. Over the years, different governments have tried that approach, but the results aren't what you would hope for. For years, St. Anne's Hospital has been pleading for bigger facilities, more personnel, and more ward space. Plus, not all homeless people are crazy. The next thing you could do is charge them for loitering, because in Trinidad, loitering, sleeping in public, and begging are all illegal. Sounds great, different governments and mayors have tried it, until you realize that homeless people make their money by loitering and begging. Can you imagine a homeless person begging? Next to him or her, there's a Bristol board sign saying that he's begging to pay a ticket.
You're curious, so you ask what the ticket is for, and he or she says, begging. Making any sense? Not making any sense?
It's a stupid solution. You could ask the people who've tried it. Some argue that the public is enabling homeless people and causing the number to go up. They argue that if you stop giving homeless people money and you stop feeding them in public places, the numbers will dwindle. You're supporting their drug habits. You're enabling loitering and begging. Shame on you for feeding homeless people on Harris Promenade and Independence Square. Here's what a mayor of San Fernando once recommended. If you need to feed homeless people, please contact the city corporation. The city would make arrangements for the meals to be distributed. And please don't cook the same thing every Saturday, because homeless people or street dwellers will refuse the meal, saying that we got the same thing last week. Basically busting the myth that beggars can't be choosers. Generosity might be the reason that more and more homeless people are migrating to San Fernando. When it comes to shelters, there's something you should note. With different shelters, there are different problems. Either it's inadequately staffed or it doesn't have sufficient beds. You also have instances where homeless people may have a space and they choose to leave. And in San Fernando, homeless people have complained about a shelter called Shamrock Court. They've cited security concerns. And here's the... They've cited security concerns, basically people stealing the shit. And based on a YouTube video, guess who's stealing the stuff? The homeless people who leave Port of Spain and migrate to San Fernando. Town people, all they need to do better than that. Come now, man.
Build something nice, like in a place like Cora or Peparo. Fence it around, let go all the homeless people. Get them into farm and give them a job.
No, that sounds great. And it could probably work. The problem is that when people leave the rehabilitation center, they are still homeless. Which brings us to our fourth solution. Give homeless people a home. Something simple. 1 bedroom, a bathroom, a kitchen. You're probably sitting there thinking, what the
I renting or I living in my mother and father house and you talking about giving homeless people a house? You're a madman, hour.
Listen, the idea is simple. Finland has been doing it for a while with great success. To solve homelessness, you start by giving a homeless person a home. A permanent home with no strings attached. Let's do some maths.
At the beginning of this video, I told you that different governments have spent millions trying to get homeless people off the streets.
An HDC house cost $350,000 to build. Let's say something simple cost $100,000.
Alright. 200,000.
So let's assume 414 homeless people. A basic 1-bedroom house with a kitchen and a bath cost $200,000. That's a total of $80 million. Let's do some more maths. Every month, it costs about $4,000 to support a person at a rehabilitation center. So assuming 414 people at a rehabilitation center, that's $1,656,000 every month. For the year, that's close to $20 million. In 4 years' time, the state would have spent $80 million to house 414 homeless people at a rehabilitation center.
And in 4 years' time, those same people would have nothing to show for it.
They would have left the rehabilitation center and they are still homeless. So with this approach, housing is provided first and then supports are provided, including physical and mental health, education, employment, substance abuse, and community connections. Honestly, now that I've finished taping this episode, I realize how crazy I sound. I'd love to know what you think. Let me know in the comment section. Red Wall News.